Kia ora, welcome to Canterbury Live. It is Thursday, the 31st of July. It is the end of the month already. Unbelievable. Can you believe it? One thing I can believe, Val has done it again. Gold. Isn't she a clever girl? There was an interview just shortly after and she said, oh, bit of a flat one, but I got there in the end. Seriously, that girl is too modest. Well done. Now, we do have a winner for a book giveaway from yesterday, Rubble to Resurrection, The Church's Response in the Canterbury Quakes by author Melissa Parsons. And the winner is Anne Taylor. So congratulations to you, Anne. I'm sure you'll really enjoy that. It was a joy interviewing Melissa yesterday. Now, the book is available at Scorpio Books, select Paper Plus stores, Mana Books and Christian Superstore. Coming up on today's show, really looking forward to this interview, Beyond the Cordon, and it's an exhibition, and I have the curator, Sarah Murray, in, and Jeff Burns, who is a Christchurch forensic photographer with the Christchurch Police. And we learn more about Millers, the business, the family, the company, the entity. So I look forward to hearing more about them. But first up, an old friend of CTV, Chumley, and I'm joined by Sarah. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you very much.
Busy always at Chumley, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've always got lots going on, and we've got the rebuild that's kicked off in July. We had the turning of the first sod in July for the rebuild, so we're seeing that start to happen now, which is extremely exciting. We've waited a long time to get that underway. So we've got lots of bulldozers and digging going on, and it's really exciting to see.
And it is, and it has been a long road, hasn't it?
It's been really hard. We've been working off split sites now, since the earthquakes, and having education and administration on the one site, the original one, and then we've been having the children relocating each day up to Living Springs, where they've been staying with their accommodation up there. So it's been hard. So we're all looking forward to getting back together on the one site, and that should happen by the middle of next year. So we are seeing that little light at the end of the tunnel now, so we're really quite excited about that.
Yeah. Well, Chumley is a light for a lot of beautiful children and their families.
Yes.
So explain to us, for those that may not know, what Chumley is.
Chumley provides short-term emergency and planned respite care for children. While we're on split sites, it's for children between 5 and 12 years old, but it will return to 3 to 12 years old once we're in the new building. And those circumstances that the children come to us are a variety of different reasons. There's very many reasons, and usually it's about the families and the children being in a situation that is a crisis situation or under a lot of stress. We've certainly seen a lot of that since the earthquakes. It's increased. The numbers of children coming to Chumley since the earthquake have gone up a lot. We had 375 children last year come through. And they always say that 2 to 3 years after a major sort of disaster can often start to see those effects go through. So many families have been under a lot of stress with that. But there's a variety of different reasons they come. Short term, so it's usually only 3 to 5 days, but the children can come back as many times as they like. And what is needed for them and their families. There are instances where the children do stay longer, but that depends on what their situations are.
Resources and the boring old thing, dollars.
Dollars, very important dollars,
boring, but unfortunately it does help things keep going, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and we actually have to rely on the community a huge amount for Chumley. We always get a fantastic support. We've been operating since 1925, and with the money that we raise for operational funding every year, 75% of that comes from the community. So that's only a small amount of government funding, and the rest of it comes from community. And that can be businesses, individuals, organisations, just a huge amount. Events that we have, of course, and trusts and grants and things like that.
And a very important month starting tomorrow.
Indeed,
for a month, the
yes.
morning tea. So explain about that.
Canterbury's biggest morning tea has been going for a number of years, and every year it gets bigger and better, so we're really excited about it. We had it a little bit later this year because we were doing a lot around the rebuild, promotional work and so forth. So we decided we're going to do the month of August. And it's a great way to start to bring in that spring weather. We're seeing a little bit of it today, so we're looking forward to that.
Gorgeous, yeah.
The idea is that people host a morning tea, afternoon tea, barbecue, lunch, dinner, whatever they want to do, and invite friends, family, or it could be a work colleague's morning tea. And you plan it and have it how you like it. People have themes. We've had the pink parties, we've had the Queen Jubilees, Mad Hatter's tea parties, all sorts of things like that, whatever you like. I went to a wonderful one actually last night, which was our first evening one for the year. They popped in a little bit early.
Okay.
And that was a group of women called Connect for Good, which is a group of businesswomen. And they had their bubbles and cake last night, which was splendid.
Oh, that sounds
and
nice.
Invited their members along to support Chumley. And enjoy, you know, a little bit of a chit-chat and a catch-up with members of that group. So it can work in a variety of ways, and everybody attending then just makes a donation to Chumley.
It's quite simple, really, isn't it?
Very simple.
And just give us a couple of things that the actual resources pay for. Like, it's right down to like toothpaste and toothbrush, isn't it?
Yes. You've got all of those operational costs. So you're talking about, you know, food, electricity, obviously all the educational sort of side of things. We do a lot of outdoor adventure-based learning and things like that, so there's always equipment and things for the children. It's just everything you can possibly think of in, you know, your own family and what you would spend. We do that at Chumley every year, and providing all these things that the children need, and to make their stay fun and comfortable, obviously.
Why do you keep on doing it, Sarah?
Look, these children, there's this need. We've had 25,500 children come to Chumley since 1925. That need grows. You're supporting these children, you're supporting these families, and that's what it's all about. Our motto, you know, value our children is where it is at. These children are important.
Exactly.
And we need to really, really get behind these children and their families.
Whānau number one, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. All the best
Thank
for
you
the
very
month.
much.
And we'll see you at the next media event.
Indeed.
Okay, good luck to you and the charity. Well
Lovely,
done.
thank you.
Stay with us, because after the break we look into the history of Millers.
Let's face it, everyone has an agenda. And guess what? So do I. Every week, I'll pick 3 stories that grab my attention. Agenda with me, Brent Goff.
Our new companion package is a personalised service for those that need extra help and support. A cost-effective solution for someone who needs more than just a taxi driver. Our drivers are handpicked from our experienced team and specialise in providing the right support and companionship. Home safe every time with Blue Star Taxis.
Yuck, look at all this moss and lichen. I'm not getting up there, not in these heels. Time to call Mossbuster.
Mossbuster is a no-bleach, non-abrasive, biodegradable solution that has over 35 years of proven results. You can buy Mossbuster online for less than half the cost of other well-known products and can be yours for less than $1 a litre. You just spray it on and let Mother Nature do the rest, or Mossbuster can do it for you. Check out our website or call the Mossbuster crew for a free quote. Mossbuster, 0800 88 1000.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Welcome to Caltex Redwood. We're a family-owned business proudly supporting our local community. We're open 24/7 for fuel and shop goods, and we have an amazing team of people ready to help you. Save at least 6 cents per litre using AA Smart Fuel cards. We also offer great value on our LPG bottle fills. We have a full workshop and Bridgestone Tyre Centre. Our mechanics and tyre technicians will get your car sorted. Caltex Redwood. We're just down from St Bede's on Main North Road. Caltex Redwood. What drives you?
Al Jazeera News. International news right off the satellite, bringing you up-to-the-minute coverage of world events. Al Jazeera News. Weekday mornings at 6 o'clock. Right here on CTV.
Now, last Thursday I caught up with Jill and Reg Miller to talk about Millers, so the family, the business. Well, we're going to jump in our TARDIS, head back in time to the 1920s and 30s and learn more, some stories behind the Miller family, in particular from and about Leslie Miller.
Founded in 1924 by Leslie Beaumont Miller, the department store he called Miller's originally traded in drapery. Originally located at 46 Mawhera Quay, measuring just 12 feet by 20 feet. The main street in Greymouth was known as the local shopping area, but he convinced a local builder to construct a new shopping area at a different location, believing it too could be just as successful. Leslie Miller was a visionary.
When the operating in Greymouth was on Thursday each week, he organised 2 motorway Fords, stocked them up with all the merchandise he could get into the vehicles, took them up to the Strongman mine, and when the miners received their pay on the Thursday, they sold out all the goods in a matter of a very short period of time.
Despite criticism and doubt from his competitors, he made the leap to shift the shop. A successful move, as it still remains the main shopping area of Greymouth. Miller's quickly became a household name. By purchasing large quantities of products both locally and overseas, Mr. Miller was able to offer competitive prices on good quality products. By the 1930s, the Great Depression had hit New Zealand and unemployment was at its worst. Miller moved to Christchurch, setting up 2 small establishments in the Strangers Arcade building. As in Greymouth, Mr. Miller had a vision. He wanted to serve the public to the best advantage, using every modern facility for the economical production and distribution of goods. This involved not only the use of the most up-to-date machinery, but also the provision of the very best working conditions for employees and comfort for the public in the retail departments. His core policy for Miller's was to supply its customers with a quality article at a competitive price. Miller's not only offered a quick turnaround for all products, but was significantly lower on its markup at just 25%. Most other businesses at the time had a markup rate of between 33 and 50%. This secured an amazing stream of business, and as Miller's grew, so did its employment numbers. Extending a helping hand to struggling families in the midst of the Depression, Miller's employed a large number of staff. Mr. Miller moved his entire operation into the newly modernised Strangers building in 1931. It was here that Miller began to sell merchandise directly to the public through a retail store on the bottom floor of the building. The 2 other floors were devoted to manufacturing and administration. In 1931, Miller ran into a difficult challenge with the supply of primary materials. To resolve the issue, he purchased the Rosedale woolen mills in Southland, allowing him to control all aspects of the manufacturing process.
My father managed to get hold of the mill, and I think it had gone through a pretty serious financial period prior to this, and he developed it with additional plant, but in the main it was weaving, straight from the scouring right through carding into spinning and weaving. People prided themselves on having one of Miller's tweed sports coats.
This decision turned a nearly dire situation into a great success. The plant offered top-quality woolen goods at reasonable prices. Now Miller was in control of all stages of the process, buying, selling and manufacturing, which made his goal of supplying customers with top-quality products at a reasonable price achievable. With the company growing rapidly, it was very clear to Miller he would need a larger area for manufacturing. In 1934, he purchased the Tuam Street site. He planned for a building to be erected while he was overseas on a business trip in 1936. However, shortly after preparations for the new building began, a cable message to stop everything until he got back was sent from Mr. Miller while overseas. Mr. Miller had seen a newspaper building in Manchester in the Bauhaus style of architecture.
Hartley, who was engaged as the architect to put up the new building, he stated that it was impossible to be able to have the frontage that my father wanted, that is continual glass right along the front. My father, who had seen this building in Manchester, stated that unless Mr. Hart could come up with the right design, he'd get another architect.
Miller loved to be involved in every aspect of his company and would quite often climb around the rafters and joists of the building at night, looking over the development. He would also take selected guests with him to view the magnificent structure. Miller was said to believe that the building was not being finished quick enough and made a decision to put the men on bonus for an early finish. Next week, join us as we look into the success of the Tuam Street building. Also, we take a look at how Miller's helped our brave men and women through World War II.
Isn't it wonderful seeing behind such a strong family as the Millers are, and we look forward to seeing more segments on the history. Well, stay with me after the break. History again, beyond the cordon.
Arts 21 showcases the vast creative talent and minds that are making a name for themselves in Europe and beyond. Think outside the square with Arts 21.
Pestral has the latest technology that repels rats and mice and even helps control cockroaches. Covers walls, ceilings and open spaces. Combines electromagnetic, ultrasonic and ionic technologies. Harmless to pets and people, just plug it in. Order your Pestral rodent-free today. Now $149.90 plus courier. Order within 20 minutes and get it courier free. Call 0800 88 88 44 or go to pestral.co.nz.
Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to Stay Well Pharmacy. Whatever the season, Stay Well Pharmacy has you covered. As an integrated pharmacy, we stock all the well-known pharmacy medicines, as well as quality nutritional and herbal treatments. Our team of pharmacists and full-time naturopath are here to help you find the products and advice to suit the needs of you and your family. So come in and see us at Stay Well Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road in Hornby. Stay Well Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
Welcome to Caltex Redwood. We're a family-owned business proudly supporting our local community. We're open 24/7 for fuel and shop goods, and we have an amazing team of people ready to help you. Save at least 6 cents per litre using AA Smart Fuel cards. We also offer great value on our LPG bottle fills. We have a full workshop and Bridgestone Tyre Centre. Our mechanics and tyre technicians will get your car sorted. Caltex Redwood. We're just down from St Bede's on Main North Road. Caltex Redwood. What drives you? Southern News Week is an Otago-based news bulletin. Produced locally in Dunedin, it's your chance to catch up on everything that's happening in the community. Southern News Week, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. and repeated Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on CTV.
Welcome back to Canterbury Live. Well, we have a little bit of a surreal moment at the moment. We've got Jeff Burns from New Zealand Police. Welcome to Canterbury Live.
Thank you.
You're a forensic photographer, and Sarah Murray, who is the curator of human history from the museum. So welcome to you both. But we did have a wee chat before because obviously with the history of CTV and what happened in 2011, then obviously Jeff was a part of that. So it is a little bit surreal for you to step back in to the business as we are now, because obviously you saw a lot of the branding and that was around at the site at the time. So, but hey, we're here in a happier time, and it's wonderful that we've brought Beyond the Cordon, really, isn't it? So tell us about the exhibition, how it all formed.
Absolutely. So New Zealand Police and Canterbury Museum had worked together a few years ago on an exhibition called Canterbury Quakes, and also on Quake City, and as part of that we came across these absolutely breathtaking photographs. They are images that are just full of emotion and full of pain and full of people and their experiences. And so we've worked with Jeff and his team over the last couple of years, and as part of that put together this exhibition of, I think it's around about 80 images, isn't it, Jeff? Yes. Of the forensic photographs. So these are the forensic photography team of the New Zealand Police, as they were doing their work after the 22nd of February earthquake, also took images of the scenes around them, and it's those images that are on display in Beyond the Cordon. And we have to thank you, Jeff, because you have given us special permission to actually show these images on air today, so thank you very much for that privilege. So if we could go to those images now, that would be great. I think we're going to get them very shortly. So here we go now. So obviously this is some of the team that are going in. Is that right, Jeff?
Yes, it is. This was actually at the CTV site, and the Japanese USAR teams that were so regimented, so professional with how they how they operated, and this is them actually leaving the site after working a shift, and it was, for me, amazing to watch teams from Japan, China, and other areas just working alongside each other, and without any sort of political differences or anything like that at all, just there solely for one job.
Brilliant. And of course, I suppose, explain here with the dogs. I mean, that's so you did need the assistant, didn't you?
So for the USAR, that's right. For the USAR teams, a lot of them had their own search dogs, and sadly, they're operating as cadaver dogs, so locating deceased, and that shot there with the boots on the dog. And some handlers preferred to have their dogs in boots, some didn't. They talked about the feel that the dogs had and so forth. But that's a shot that we sort of just like. It's just sort of, the dog just looks tired, and it's just one of those shots that was captured, and it's a great looking shot.
It is actually. It's beautiful. Wow. Okay.
So down at the Catholic Cathedral in Barbados Street, it was unusual for us to be working at a scene where there was just continual devastation everywhere we were. Usually we go to a job and sadly we see some terrible things as being a police photographer. But usually the scene we're at, we're looking through the lens at something unpleasant, but when we leave the room or the house, the world was as you left it. But at this time, everywhere you looked, there was just devastation and damage, and it was just an incredible experience. One I hope I don't have to repeat.
Exactly. Looking at this picture, I can actually taste the air, and I don't know if that's the right word to say, but you can taste the dust.
Yes.
And just the sense of it.
From the visitors area outside the Christchurch Cathedral, so many of our shots had a slightly filmy look to them, just because of the dust that was so sort of continuously in the air not long after the quake.
Can I ask you a question, Jeff? To steal a couple of lines from Pink Floyd. Do you have to be comfortably numb?
It's something that you become used to. You become accustomed to seeing unpleasantness. But for the earthquake, and for the team of photographers, both from Christchurch and around the country, the other police photographers that came to assist us, it was something that we had never experienced before, and it took some real adjusting. Our whole worlds have been turned upside down, and especially for the Christchurch team, we live here, most of us were born here, and so to be doing the work and then going home to your own damaged homes and so forth, I guess there was a sort of a numbness, but we were also extremely aware of what we were doing. The whole aim about this was searching and then recovery, and the aim was to try and get everyone, every person recovered and back to their family, basically.
And I guess the team became a family, really, didn't it, with the Christchurch photographers?
Very much so. Yeah, it was a pretty tight crew, and I guess I could speak on behalf of a number of other agencies and other teams. They would, I'm sure, would feel the same, whether it be urban search and rescue, fire service. You become pretty tight and focused on what you're doing.
Have any photographers left the profession since the earthquake?
No,
Jeff?
no, none. No, we continue on, and look, I think it's important to say that we, although the work was at times extremely unpleasant, we feel really privileged to have been in that position and played a part in helping recover and identify so many people, and that sort of privileged sensation is not lost on us at all.
And then we have there, that's obviously that's the shaft, the elevator shaft on the CTV site. So
yes,
quite a strong image, especially for our CTV families and for a lot of the team here. So I thank you for your key part in it and the respect that you obviously showed the family as well. And Sarah, what a privilege for you as a curator to be a part of this.
Well, absolutely, and you know, I can't say enough amazing things about these photographers, about the way they approached the work that they did, you know, the care that they put into what they did at that time when, you know, their own homes were broken, when they might not have been home to see their own families.
Okay, thank you. We need to go, but I thank you both for today, and I look forward to hearing about more things about the exhibition. So welcome and thank you to you both. Now, on tomorrow's show, whoopsie daisy, we have Mark from Stable Pharmacy. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow.